Hi guys, so what was hoped would boost Rishi Sunak's standing with the public backfired. An audience of hand-picked right-wing voters delivered their verdict on the Prime Minister, and it was pretty grim. So for weeks, GB News had been promoting a so-called People's Forum, where members of the public could attend an event where they could ask Rishi Sunak a question. However, it seems that those attending had been selected by Survation, an organisation who tried to defend selling Brexit polling data to hedge funds before the Brexit vote in order to manipulate the markets. Nigel Farage, it seems, was involved too. So even with a completely biased audience, Rishi Sunak got less than an enthusiastic response. Have a listen.
Did you change your mind?
I didn't learn anything really new tonight.
You've changed your mind on Mr. Sunak?
I've not changed my mind. I'm just still very undecided. I wasn't very impressed with with the answers that were coming back. So yeah, I'm still undecided.
And you, sir? Will you vote for him?
I'm undecided. I think it's lost. If I'm totally honest, he's trying his best, but I don't think the Conservatives can win in the next election.
Sir, has the PM convinced you to vote for him?
He's convinced me to think about it, but what I really am thinking about at the moment is, where do I hand in my expenses claims?
Hey, don't ask me, sir. I'm an ear journalist. Please, thank you, sir.
I was pretty unimpressed with the way he closed off the COVID vaccine injured person.
Okay. Well, thank you on that. You heard.
Okay. I love the guy who's like, yeah, I don't care about Rishi Sunak. I care about where I fill in my application for my expenses. Okay. So it seems people were paid to attend this event, or at least they were able to claim their expenses for attending this event. This event was a charade. It was handpicked, not members of the public, but handpicked Conservatives who were supposed to ask Rishi Sunak softball questions. Now, that didn't even go very well because there was one individual who was pretty aggressive towards the Prime Minister, and Rishi Sunak was in a bit of confusion in his response. Now, most of his responses were scripted. I imagine the questions were recorded beforehand, and he was able to prepare a response. So this was not Rishi Sunak answering on the fly, on his feet. These questions were prepared for him beforehand. This was very choreographed. It was not very natural. It was presented as something natural. Members of the public coming and asking the Prime Minister questions, and him responding to them. So it was very scripted. But even when it was scripted, Rishi Sunak didn't handle it as well as he could have. Now, this could be a case of GB News trying to throw Rishi Sunak under a bus, because these are right-wing voters. Yes, Conservatives, probably some of them looking to vote for Reform UK instead. But this is not left-wingers. For example, a friend of mine who's a political commentator attempted to attend this event. I'm not going to name any names. This individual may come out later and explain what happened. But they attempted to participate at this event. They were ready to go, and at the last minute had their application cancelled, rejected. Now, perhaps GB News discovered who this person was and was afraid you're going to ask maybe a left-wing question, or you're going to ask a difficult question for Rishi Sunak, or you're going to ask a question that is not within the scope of the Conservative thinking. So this is a Conservative audience, a right-wing audience, who's going to ask Rishi Sunak specific questions. It was embarrassing. It was pretty sad. And this is an attempt, perhaps from the Conservatives, to boost Rishi Sunak's standing with the public. But it failed. Like you had an audience made up of just Conservatives, and they had a pretty poor response, a lukewarm response to the Conservative leader. So can you imagine what would have happened if it was actually members of the public? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.